Hey, hey, I'm Kelly, your favorite Jeep driving lawyer, mom of twins, four crazy rescue dogs, rescue cat, and rescue guinea pig, who likes to craft in her spare time, has graduated with her degree in sign language interpreting, and is trying to train for Ironman. But news about that. Um, so yeah, excuse the moose. I'm not sure if it's my. I'm not sure which one of the big dogs is laying at my. They're both at my feet basically, and one of them is groaning. And I'm not sure which. So if you hear that, that's what that is. It's killing me. It's cracking me up. And I don't know why, but it is. Okay. So if you're new here, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. It sends me a message. It boosts my serotonin and my self esteem. And I could use that. And if you're a returning friend, you already know the crazy you're in for. So grab your drink, sit on back, and let's have at it. Um, yeah. Yeah. So last week happened. Um, I will admit that last week, so Friday I had the ablation with the sedation. I was still like awake and able to talk, but they gave me really good pain meds. And I'm going to tell you that I want to say that the nurse anesthetist said she gave me fentanyl, but that seems really, really weird. Like, I don't think that's right, but I don't know. I will say that I feel like I'm still way more tender than I was after previous times, but it's been a good 8, 9 months since the last procedure. So, well, okay, the last one was the failed attempt, but the time before that, I want to say it's been like 8 or 9 months. So, um, I don't know. I'm still very tender. So I'm doing a lot of resting. We've done some cleaning and organizing. There will be more tomorrow. Um, so yeah, just I've gotten some other stuff done, gotten some things in place. Um, my son has learned how to log my billing, so it's his job after every day to go into the system. I'm going to write down my hours, and he'll go into the system and he'll enter them. And then here in this next week, we're going to call the okay. So I use a billing system called Clio. We'll call the Clio customer service people and figure out how to print because I never remember how to print like batch print. I always have to go into each invoice and print it, which gets a little tedious. So Um, I do live in North Michigan. I don't live in North Michigan. I live in Southeast Michigan, just north of Detroit. And we're getting storms. And you would think that that's my hearing dog that's barking because she would hear the storm. It's not. It's my deaf dog, which cracks me. Like it shouldn't make me laugh, but it does. So, okay. So I have the only haul that I got. My son bought me some of the DMCs that I need to work on my Wizard of Oz project because they were on sale, and I was short a color for the Scarecrow. Um, so then he bought me the flosses to finish, well, the DMC to finish Dorothy and the Cowardly Lion as well. And now I have a sheet of the rest of the DMCs I have because right now, so it's Sunday, um, the 26th of May. And this way, floss is because Memorial Day is tomorrow. Floss is on sale at Joann's for 50 cents. So versus 66, which is what it normally is here. So it's kind of nice. Um, so I have been working on that, but that's my only haul. I don't have any Stitchy Kindness. Again, that's okay. Um, I'm trying to think what else. Okay, so Whipco numbers were pulled. Let me. I had my. Oh, so each of the kids had doctor's appointments. Um, it was really interesting because the kids went both on the same day, but my son went in the morning, my daughter went at night, in the evening, like at 4 o'clock. Um, and it was very interesting. Sorry, I'll whip go. how the doctor treated them differently. It um, is very evident that, like most medical professionals, sad to say, that there is definitely a bias um, with women. Although, as far as I know, he did not give my daughter the talk about, well, you should lose weight, because I would have punched him in the face. I will be honest. You guys have seen my kids. Neither one of my kids are, like, could my kids probably lose 20 pounds? I'm sure, but neither one of my kids are really fat. So, and given who their mother and father are and their genetics, it's actually pretty darn impressive. So, okay, so WIPGO numbers for June got called, and it's 2 and 25. So for me, let's just get this out of the way. For me, 2 is the ant placements. Well, guess what? Kelly already finished those. So 2 is crossed off. 2 is already done for June. Yay! The other one is the map. The map is one of those choose your own, like roll your own adventures from Ink Circles maps that I started for my son a while ago. I think that was another 2021 start. But in talking to my son, I'm going to switch that out, and we're going to work on Monopoly. Because the goal is to have Monopoly finished, and then we'll work on, so we're going to switch map to Monopoly, and we're going to work on the Monopoly board in June, which is awesome. So yay, that's a big deal. So yeah, okay. My friend John, his birthday was this last week or so, and so I did pull out Buffet Map by Unconventional Cross Stitch. This is not slated for a finish anytime. This is slated for year 2050,000 of the year of our Lord and Savior. That is likely when it will be finished, because we're not even at 5%. This is a pattern by Unconventional Cross Stitch. This will go to him when it's done. When it's done. So for his birthday, I pulled it out and I put in just over 300 stitches that day. And I just kind of worked in here. Now, what's interesting is, if I recall, yeah, I do have it on Pattern Keeper. I will say that I do thoroughly enjoy Pattern Keeper for full coverage. So we're at 2.88%. I know. But Fayomat is a BAP. It's like a hate. I mean, really and truly. So we're in here. I have page 1 done. I was hoping, I thought I was closer to having a second page done. So most of my stitches went in here. I am not anywhere close. Not anywhere close. Is that okay? Sure. Okay. So that was good, because I had been feeling kind of a pull to work on this for whatever reason. So that was very cool. So, Buffet Mat by Unconventional Cross Stitch. Okay. So then I've been trying. Okay, I had tried to do the one strand like in the morning or the afternoon. The problem is that I wake up and I click in, because I know I'm at some point I'm going to have to take time out to drive here or there for one of the kids. So I tend to wake up, have my coffee, and start answering client emails so that when I'm on the road, like, I'm not freaking out. So working on one strand a day in the morning isn't working for my brain at this point. That's not to say it will continue to not work, But my thought was that I was going to work on like one strand in the morning, like on the peppermint purple sail, or I was going to work on the back stitching for Mermaid Santa. And I had better luck working on peppermint purple than I did on Santa. I don't know what I'm going to do. I really want Santa done. And he's so close. And yet, I don't know. So we're going to have to figure out if anybody has a solution on that. Please let me know. Okay. So this is the year of black work from 2021 from Peppermint Purple. Every year they do a free black work project, and it's different every year. I had tried to keep up with it. Clearly, I did not. Whatever. Then I tried to do the next year. I could never get the frame to line up. I got so frustrated, I just threw it in the trash. Not even gonna lie. I cut off the part that was stitched on. I threw that in the trash, and the Ada I recycled for something else. I don't know. I don't know. So my goal is to have this row done by the end of this month. But I did get in. I finished. I think I had this square done, so I finished this one, and then I started this one. And I'm just using a bunch of random blue DMC that I've had. So it's my year of blue work, not my year of black work. It's my year of blue work. I have not figured out if I'm going to do the ivy across here that's in this box. I think I'm going to see if I can't chart out black work, like either fish or some quote about the beach. I don't know. So here's hoping that I get that done this week. I do have court one day this week. It's a traffic ticket. And normally I don't handle traffic tickets, but this one is for a friend of mine who is just like, he's from our program. He's so sweet. He's kind of a younger kid, and he is just freaking out. The poor guy. And I feel bad because, okay, so I don't know how it is in other states, but here in Michigan, that if you're like in a driveway and you pull, in traffic, and let's say the first lane of traffic lets you through, and the guy in the second lane comes in and hits you, it's automatically your fault, even though he should have better control of his car. You're the one. So my friend, the student, he was in this car, pulled through and got clipped. And yeah, so he's got a ticket for interfering with the flow of traffic. And he's just freaking out. I'm like, look, you're going to go in there. We're going to plead it down. It's not a big deal. Like, you don't need me. But he's freaking out. And he's like, please come. And I was like, that's fine. I'll come. Relax. So we have that. Okay. So this next piece is done on Be Stitch Me Glacier. It was the piece I won, if you guys remember. It is a 36 count linen. It really is a beautiful piece of fabric, and I'm so grateful that I won it. On it, I am putting the Lola Crow Deadly Aquarium, Poisonous Aquarium, Deadly Aquarium style. I'm behind now, officially. Who is surprised? Not me, because we all know that Kelly doesn't, like, I start them with y'all, I never finish them with y'all. Because the first part the frame had been dropped for a while. The first piece dropped. Now, the first piece, there's a chance that I could pull it out before the next one is dropped. It's this little teeny piece. It's got a moray eel and a treasure chest. It is so cute, which sounds very weird considering it's the Deadly Aquarium style. The problem is let me show you a picture. I don't know if you guys have seen a picture. I'm sure everybody's seen it on like Instagram, what it should look like. Okay, so this is the frame. Okay, so I have up here, I have most of this area done. Okay, can you please take the dogs and do so I don't keep getting buttons? Okay, the problem is, okay, so I'm not all the way over here, and this is where the eel sits. Yeah, yeah. And I apologize for the way that so yeah. So we're gonna keep working on that. It's like, really, we couldn't, like, no, that's okay. Let's see. Okay, no. Okay, so I did work a little bit on Santa. Not a whole heck of a lot. I did get some more back stitching done on him, on his scales. But literally, I just have the scales in his tail to go. Like, and then I'm back stitching, and then he's done. The problem is that some of the lines are one line, some are two, some are three. It is very stressful to my brain. Okay. What I did work on quite a bit is my Wizard of Oz adventure. This is on an unknown, I don't know the count. All I can tell you is it's like a cream color even weave. That's all I can tell you. I don't have any other information on it. And that's okay. Because it is what it is. Okay.
You sit down.
So I got should I do more down? I did. I got a little bit more down here done as far as the book. But mostly I've been working on the 1/1 for the scarecrow. And can we just laugh at those little legs? Yep. It makes me laugh. I don't know why. It just does. I will admit that last week I did not have much of a stitchy bug. I just, there was a lot of times where I just sat at my chair and just kind of like, we all have those times. Okay, so here's the other piece that I worked on. And I ended up having to recap, like literally unstitch. I mean, I did unstitch some stitches. I had to, somewhere I had been off and it kept throwing me off. And I was like, okay, I could keep going and trying to fudge it to make it work, or I could just undo a bunch of stitches. And then all of a sudden it dawned on me, okay, I may not need to necessarily undo anything. What I need to do is unmark them off in Pattern Keeper and then go row by row and actually cross off what I have stitched so that I can see, okay, do I actually have to rip out stitches? Did I have to rip out some? No, I was lucky. But it took me like 3 days to get through that. And then I did add in more stitches. So now Dennis has an eyeball starting. It looks so good. So now that it's right, it is a much more easygoing stitch. I did get stitch a gift. So I use, these are the floss drops I use. You get them on Amazon, and the cheapest rate is to buy them in sets of 40. They sell them in a bigger number, but the per piece, the cheapest per piece rate is to buy them in sets of 40. Somebody's math wasn't mathing. I don't know. So I was, I have 80 more of these. So what I need to do is sit down and put the rest of the floss on the drop, like the flosses on the drop, and put them all in order. And I will have more than enough to do that. And I'm super, super excited about that. So, and I will probably have enough to then floss drop at least one more other project. So that's kind of where I'm at. That's all the stitching I got done. It's probably not it's not a ton, but you know what? It's okay. I still touched a couple projects that I haven't touched before. Like I said, we have we'll do Monopoly instead of the map this month. We have StitchCon coming up. So yeah. That's kind of where we're at. I think we're in a good spot. This next week, like I said, I have court the one day. I have lots of paperwork. I still am trying to catch up my billing. But like even today, I went and met with a client for 2 hours. So I am working away. I have more paperwork to do tomorrow to get ready for Monday. And so yeah. So this is short and sweet, and I'm sorry. Like William's been working. I have one. So in the effort of cleaning out and clearing out and deorganizing, today the kids and I went through. Like I have a closet that used to be a pantry, but now it's a closet. But it was just filled up with a bunch of stuff, and it was like overflowing. So we cleared that out, and I took a bunch of stuff out, and I donated a bunch of stuff. And I was like, "This is stupid. We don't need all this." So it is all like organized and cleaned, and so that makes me super super happy. Um, I already have the area, the little zone area that I'm going to work on tomorrow. Um, so yeah, so it's a little crazy. Like I'm doing this. I am clearing this shit out. Um, the more I get out, the easier it's going to be to move stuff to paint and finish up other repairs and things like that. So super good. Um, so yeah, so I hope everybody has a peaceful Memorial Day here in the States. Um, it's not a happy Memorial Day, y'all. Like, sorry, it's one of my pet peeves. Memorial Day is to remember the military men and women who lost their lives. It's not a happy day. It's not a day for barbecues, and yes, that's what we do. It is a day to thank those who have lost their lives, protecting those of us who are in the U.S. or wherever we fought for freedom. Um, it's a day to remember those people. Um, and so, yeah, I remember. So, for the record, my father served, my brother has served, now my nephew is serving. I have cousins who have served. Both my grandfathers have served. It's a big deal in my family. And I can remember at one point sitting down before my grandfather passed, and I said, I said, why do you always look awkward when people find out that you served and they say thank you for your service? And he's like, because I did what I was supposed to do. And I said, well, how? And he goes, and it just feels awkward, like. And I said, well, what would you want me to do? Like, what would you want me to say? And he goes, I don't want you to say anything. He goes, first of all, you're my granddaughter. You don't have to thank me. Like, I was like, okay. He goes, what I want you to do is do something that makes me proud. Not, I don't know if proud's probably not the right word. To make my sacrifices meaningful, like that they weren't in vain. And I thought, so I challenge you in this next week, given that it's Memorial Day, to do something that will make our military, our veterans, proud of you, to make their sacrifice worth it. It doesn't have to be anything major. It doesn't. It's just being a good person. And that's what my grandfather always said before is it's the little things that matter most. And that's, in talking with the provost, because her and I now have had a couple conversations in the last week or so since graduation and at graduation. And the whole point of the speech at commencement, the whole theme of this year's was the little changes in yourself make the difference. So I challenge you to make those little changes that are going to make a difference. It's not, listen, dude, I am not going to, like, the likelihood that I'm going to win a Nobel Peace Prize is slim and none and slim walk down the street, okay? It's not realistic for me, and that's okay. But I can tell you because of a conversation I had with a student, with a fellow student not long ago, she didn't give up and drop out of a class. I can tell you that the other day a friend of mine said, listen, I don't know what to do. And we sat down and we thought it through. And I said, okay, we've done this conversation multiple times and it's literally the same thing. I said, So at what point are we just going to break the cycle and actually follow through with what you're saying? Like, what do you need from me to help you not fall back into the same rut so that we're having the same conversation again in a couple months? And it's funny because she posted on Facebook, she's like, and she thanked me publicly for always being the friend who will call her on the mat and wake her up and kind of go, what are you doing? So those are little things though that like everybody can do. Be that kind of friend. You know, um, I can see her face. She's a 614 stitcher and she does the mental health May. I want to say Candace, but that's not her name. And she says, sometimes it's looking at a friend and go, do you need 8 minutes? Do you need just 8 minutes? 8 minutes where the focus is all on you and what you need. What can we do in 8 minutes? And I think that's really, really important. And I love that idea. Like, look, I don't need a full day. Sometimes all I need is 8 minutes of undivided attention where they go, you know what? Whatever's, maybe it was something that happened that like I'm really upset about. And somebody can go, you know what? Yeah, that really did suck. Let's wallow in it. And I always say, let's embrace the suck. Let's wallow in it. Let's have our, and depending on what it is, okay, so here's the other. So I think that's great. So can I help you in 8 minutes? I can spare 8 minutes for anybody. So I challenge you again to take the 8 minutes. And if you want a better explanation of the 8 minute thing, please go watch the 614 Stitcher. The other thing that I do when something really shitty happens is I'm allowed to have a pity party. Absolutely. Some pity parties are allowed to last longer than others. Like, did I throw a pity party when I didn't make magna cum laude versus summa cum or versus just cum laude? Sure, I did. Sure, I did. Yes, I threw a pity party. I got to whine and piss and moan for an hour about it because that's what I set my timer on. I set the timer. There are other things that I set the timer on, and it's a full day. Sometimes it's a full weekend. Whatever. Sometimes we have more than one pity party, but we break them up. Okay. There are little kids playing outside, and Lizzie hears them. Hey, calm down. Calm down. Hey, killer, relax. Um, Schedule your pity party. Drink your glass of wine, eat your ice cream, whatever it is that you need to do. Throw your pity party for yourself. At the end of your pity party, when the timer goes off, you put on your big girl pants or your big boy pants, whatever, and we plan on, okay, so how do we tackle this? Like, how do we fix whatever shitty thing happened? And maybe it's something that can't be fixed, but how do we deal with it? How do we manage it? How do we move on? And so so absolutely, I throw pity parties. Absolutely. I throw hissy fits too, just so you all know, just so I'm real transparent. I will throw a hissy fit that you all won't believe. But okay, so now I'm just rambling. I don't need to ramble because I can go clean out another section of my house and that would make me just as happy. Um, I have this, I have a 31 bag. It's one of those utility bags and it's in the Jeep print because Jeep, but the handle the dog chewed and I don't want to get rid of it. So I'm debating but if I sew the handle pieces together, it's going to be shorter on the one side than the other. So I don't know what to do now, but I don't really want to throw it out because it's cheaper and it's no longer carried by 31. So there's my dilemma. So with that though, I'm going to say so long, farewell, Avida and adieu. But remember, you are smart and you are beautiful and you are loved. You are cherished. You are strong. You are needed. You are wanted. You are loved. And most importantly, you matter. So with that, reach out if you need me. Love y'all, and we'll see you next week. Bye.